This is one of my favorites. Now, I seem to say this through this challenge a lot, but your fitness can be addressing different things in your overall body function. So if you really like weights, you really like cardio, you really like flexibility or core, then you can put that into your program. You just want it to be well balanced. So that was the idea of this 7-day challenge, is because I wanted you to have an opportunity to learn a little bit of each. Today, we're actually going to do flexibility exercises, but you're doing them with movement. So there are two types of stretching. So you're holding a stretch for a period of time, and then you're also doing something which is a dynamic stretch, which is lengthening the muscle through movements. So it just depends on really what is best for you. Through all of this, I want you to have an idea of making yourself aware of areas where you're tight or areas where you have difficulty or decreased strength to get into that position. So this is from my PiYO class, and it's a section that I call flow. So you're doing movements inspired by yoga, but again, you're doing one side completely, then we're going to do the other side. And just bear with me. So the more and more you do this routine, you can either do it outside. I recommend that you do this barefoot because you're going to get a little bit more out of it. You can obviously do it inside. You can do it on carpet. You can do it anywhere. The idea is this is time for you, and you want to kind of sequence your breath along with the movements as you get more comfortable. So the first time you do this, it's going to be a little bit harder to follow along because I want to cue you for what you're looking for. But then when you put it all together, it's going to be an awesome experience for you, and it gives you the lengthening of the muscles that you really need in order to take pressure off your joints and have your body really run optimally, where you're less risk of having an overuse injury or even a strain at some point when you do something functionally, if that makes sense. So we're going to start with our right leg first, and we're going to go through a sequence of 4 movements. We would call that part 1, and 4 movements again, and that would be part 2. So you're actually going to start with a lunge position. You're going to have your back leg, so it intersects with, if I come way back here, you can see my heel is perpendicular to the instep of my back foot. Now, again, if you're going for a deeper, more of a stretch, you would obviously go deeper in the movement. So for the first time we go through this, we're just going to relax the shoulders, get an idea of your posture to start with. And again, the lower you go into the movements, the more aggressive it is. So if you're starting out in the day, your muscles really aren't warm, you would do this a few times and then progressively go deeper into the movement. So we're going to start easy first, assuming you're just starting your day like this, assuming you're not going for a real aggressive stretch. We're going to do these positions and just know the second time we do it, you can go deeper, and I'll show you some modifiers to make it more difficult, okay? So you're starting in this position, shoulders are up. We're going to do a push away, and you're going to just kind of make your arms in a circular motion counterclockwise. So you're going to, again, push away, bring the arms overhead, and then you're just going to kind of rock back, and then you would kind of push towards me, come overhead, relax the shoulders, elbows fan up here. Now you're going to rotate your feet. They're now parallel, and we're going into a side lunge. So you're getting a nice lengthening in the inner front leg. And this is where we're going to stay up on our knees here. See, I'm not rounding my back. You want to keep the shoulders up. Okay, so you're going to hold this position. Take a nice deep breath, and now you're going to come back to the front leg, and you're going to come into a lunge position. So again, hip flexor is really important to stretch here. My back leg is straight. You could bend the knee if you want to, but ideally you have the leg straight, the heel back, and you're up here. Again, the second time we go through this, you can reach for the floor. Right now, we're just staying onto the knee. A nice deep breath. Now you're going to put your weight through this front leg, and you're going to come to a standing position. Get your balance there. And you're going to come forward. So you're tilting forward over this front hip, and then you would come back, and then you're going to do that again. So we're going to, again, this would be a warrior 3, but this is, again, arms are just at our side. Now we're going to reach down towards the floor. My heel is connected to the heel on my front leg. See, my foot is to the side. Chest stays up. You're going to reach towards the floor. And then we're going to go to Atlas. So squeeze the thighs together, lengthen through the torso here. So isn't this fabulous? Let's do it again. So you're reaching towards the floor, chest stays up, legs flare out. Now my knees come together, and you relax your arm to the side. Okay, so that would be part 1. Part 2 is where we're going to step to the side, kind of on a diagonal. So you're going to bring the arms parallel to the floor, And we're gonna cross, and we call this the PiYO cross. And then come back parallel, and then back to Atlas again. And then we would do it again. Arms parallel, cross, open, and slide it in. Arm is long. Again, you're lengthening all of this stuff here. This is not just about stretching arms, stretching legs. This is total body stretching. Nice deep breath. You know, if you needed, you could also bring a chair once you know what you're doing. This is called chair. So you would cross the legs over, and your goal is to sit down. This is stretching the side of the hip. Bring your hands to your heart, center yourself, keep it kind of shallow first. Again, you're looking for a stretch in the opposite hip. Nice deep breath. And now we're gonna do a creeper lunge. So it would be side step, 1, 2, 3, and then you would go to tree. So the leg comes up. And then side, side, side. I love this one. You're gonna love it as we progress. And then the last one is just back to a low lunge. So you would hold here, okay? So again, your cues are the same as what they were before. The hip is forward, my chest is up, I'm not rounding forward. So you should feel this in the front of the hip, but you may feel, again, some strain here because it's holding your body weight up. Take a nice deep breath, and you would come back to center. So if we were going to put this all together with a progression, okay? So now you know what to do for it. Try not to let this knee cave in. Work the outer hip. So again, the idea of PiYO is you're stretching certain muscles and strengthening the other, but working those two together at the same time gives you improvement with your flexibility. So think about this as an option to just your regular stretching, and it can just be a really powerful experience as well, okay? So we're gonna go through this, push away. To low lunge. So back leg comes down, and again, you're reaching for the floor this time, or stay on the knee. Back is flat. Walk your legs to the front, low lunge just for a minute. Then you would come up to warrior 3, to mountain. Hold the belly button in, reach mountain. Arms could stay at the chest, remember. And then you're coming down, crouch down, to Atlas. And again, now get ready. We're going to that PiYO cross. So step to the side, arms parallel, cross, arms parallel, up, cross, deep breath, to chair, cross the legs, hands to the heart. Closing your arms makes it a little bit harder. Now creeper lunge to the tree. Here's the progression. So be side, side, and then to tree. Arm comes up as an option. Keep the knee out. Side, side, progression, end in low lunge. And this time again, you can go all the way to the ground. If you want to hang out here, you can. Again, you're really trying to open the front of the hips. Helps with back pain, helps your hip function, helps your athleticism. Now, once you're warm, you could actually bounce the stretch a little bit, not really aggressively, and nice and easy. And a reverse low lunge is a nice progression as well. So your arm would come up, and that way you're getting the outside part of that bent knee as well, okay? So you just find what's best for you. Step together. Now, this video is a little bit longer, but we're gonna do the other side now. Now, again, what I'm gonna tell you is you wanna be aware of the differences on each side, because it will help you if there's something that you're aware of doing this. More than likely, it could be an issue to give you pain at another time. So this is where you're looking at prevention and trying to be more aware of where you're tighter. So you work on that to try to even your sides up one side to the other. Otherwise, you're prone to getting some issues. So again, a lot of times in my class, you know, as a PiYO instructor, a lot of times people may lean forward here. Chest is up, your shoulders are always over your hips, okay? Nice deep breath. Relax the shoulders. Let's go to push away. Arms behind the head, and then push away. Low lunge, back leg. Hold it down, feet are parallel, back is straight. Come to the front leg. We're gonna be going to that warrior 3. Again, remember you can keep your hands at your hips. You power up through that front leg. Reach forward. or keep the hands here and then come forward again. Now try to just pivot over that standing hip. Good. Now Atlas. So you're going to go down. Now split the arms, lean to the opposite side this time. Long stretch through the side. Okay, so now we're doing a PiYO cross. Arms parallel, round to Atlas again. See, it should feel very rhythmic. Good, we're going to chair. So find something to balance. You can keep your arms here. You could hold on to something. You could put your hands on your leg, whatever you find easiest for you. Chest is up, thinking about your spine, thinking about your posture, thinking about your breath. So now we're gonna do a creeper lunge to your right. I'm gonna step back so you can see me. Side, side. You can keep the foot down or reach with the arm, remember. Can't quite see me in the frame here. And then low lunge. And again, with the tree, ideally you wanna keep the leg open so it gets the inner thigh here. Come down to your lunge. You can stay here or reach to the floor. Deep breath. Step together. Let's do it one more time. Push away. Arms overhead. Low lunge. Inner thigh stretch. You're sitting back. Remember, you're not straining that knee. Remember, the knee should always be in line with the toe, never forward. That's going to strain your knee. Lunge forward. Lift up. Ooh, get your balance there. And you can either reach or you can, again, keep your hands to the side. Connect to Atlas, reach to the floor. Do this with intention, okay? You're not just going through these moves, rushing through. You are picturing your muscles and imagining them working for you. Okay, let's go into PiYO cross. This can be kind of tricky. Round the back to Atlas. To chair. So you're gonna cross the legs. And again, come down. You should get a nice stretch through the outside part of that hip here. Deep breath, hands to your heart. Take as much time as you want. This is your time. That's the beauty of it. I'm not rushing you in my class based on the music. This is purely for you and what your body needs. Creeper lunge. I gotta say this one's my favorite. Side, and add that on for a challenge. Side, and then we end in our low lunge. Find that spot that feels good for you. Back leg comes forward. We don't spend enough time on hip flexors. Hands stay up here. This is fantastic. If this is the only place that you can be comfortable, you should be comfortably uncomfortable when you stretch. If you feel pain, you're overstretching and that could result in injury as well, okay? So you can come down. You could actually do a wrap. You could actually hang up here, or my favorite, I have so many favorites, I can't choose. And then you come up here, but you want to mix it up. It's like a Yahtzee game. You're shaking the dice, and don't leave it up to chance for what your body ends up being. This is your opportunity that you may roll the dice. Ultimately, you're deciding on what your body needs, okay? And you would give attention to something that brings you joy. Breathe through that. And something that brings you results, not something that just you're doing just to do. You're doing it with intention and you're doing it with awareness. And that's what's ultimately going to give you a really fulfilling life because you physically are able to live up to that, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I hope you really enjoyed it. And, let me know what you think. Where'd you have difficulty? Do you need me to clarify anything for you? Please make sure that you have subscribed to my email list at fitnessbaker.com. Remember, I work with people individually, so even if you just need a consult, you want to just talk, you want to see what I do with people one-on-one, if you don't really live right near me, it's still a great opportunity, and I would love to try to help you even further. So please consider that as well and reach out to me. All right? Have an absolutely wonderful day.